In the game of tennis, the mental game is everything. In fact, most often, that's the difference between winning and losing. So today, we're going to be looking at Stoicism because they have a primary principle there that's really going to help us to elevate our mental games to the next level. Let's jump on in. So Zeno was born about 334 BC. That's about 2,350 something years ago. He said that the secret to life and tennis in this context was the ability to control oneself. Now let me tell you how this is going to help your game. So let's break this down into two really quick parts. The first thing is that Zeno says that we have to know what we can't control. If we can't control it, we shouldn't own it. What that means is that we shouldn't be affected by it. Why? Because it was out of our control. What good does it do if we couldn't control it? And even further, does it do any good to whine about it or complain about it or cry about it? No, none of that benefits us. So we have to be able to very clearly map out the things we can't control and let those things go. Here's a good example. Think about goals in tennis. I talk to my players pretty frequently. They're going into a match and I look at them and go, hey, what's your goal for this match? And they go, Coach, my goal, I'm going to win. Now that sounds good, but Zeno would say that's a terrible goal. Why? Well, because winning or losing is largely out of your control. See, the problem with tennis is there's that other player, but you can't control them. And so I might have a player go out and play the best tennis of their life, and then they come off the court and they lost, and they're downtrodden, they're angry, they're sad, they're depressed. And I go, why are you sad? You just played some really good tennis, but their goal was to win. Their goal was out of their control, and that makes it a bad goal. Did you know that not only can you not control the win of the match, you can't control the win of the set, you can't control the win of the game, you can't even control the win of the point. I can do everything right. I can serve it out wide. It's a beautiful serve. They chip it back short. I come in. I go to put the ball away. It's a beautiful shot. And they run over. They flail out and they flick their wrists and it goes down the line. And then what? I'm going to be angry over that? I'm going to spiral downhill over that? Zeno goes, no, you come out of that point kind of like Djokovic does. When the other player hits a great shot, what does Djokovic do? He gives them a hand clap. Because what good is it going to do to get all out of sorts? In fact, you've probably seen many players lose a point like that, and then not only do they lose that point, but they lose the next three because they're so frustrated from the loss of that point. Now, on the other hand, there are things we can control, and Zeno is firm here. We need to own the things we can control. So what are some things we can control? Well, we can control our effort, we can control our attitude, we can control our strategy, we can control tactics, we can control our training, we can control our preparation, our study. There's a trillion things we can control. Now, if I have a player go into a match and they lose a match and they lose it because they failed to prepare well, hey, that's on them and that's on me. We can own that. By the way, this also helps us deal with nerves and pressure. Think about why most of us get anxious in tight situations. Well, it's an anxiety thing which isn't really based in reality. Consider, for example, I'm so afraid that I'm going to double fault, so I start to play tense. Why am I so afraid? Well, because if I double fault, I'll lose the game. If I lose the game, I lose the set. If I lose the set, I lose the match. If I lose the match, no one's going to like me. My parents are going to disown me. My tennis career is over. Oh no. And Zeno says, hey, listen, you can't control all of that. If we do what we know to do, life will be all right. Oh, and by the way, if I do double fault and then I do lose the match, guess what? In the grand scheme of life, no one's really going to care. And then when we get that, all of that anxiety starts to fade away, and now we're playing big points just like we play any other point. We're playing loose. We're playing fearless, and that's when success goes way up. All right, well, there we have it. Stoicism for the modern game. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you on court soon.